Hello, everyone. Oh, whoop. Been a long time since I made that mistake. Not really. Hello, everyone. I'm Metis Balaska, and welcome to the stream. Yeah, after so long of playing since a Cyberpunk Ghost Story, we're finally getting back into this game. Let me get it started. I do have to admit, though, I never managed to replay used story. What? I never managed to replay used story to ensure I get the special scene. I'm just not going to bother doing that right now. There we are.
Here's a list of sponsors bringing you today's program.
Persona 4A.
Okay, P4A story mode. Okay, we are going to get the true ending for you, because screw it at this point. The ending for you, I mean. Cliffhanger.
You're lying. This isn't real. I'm not a machine. You're not me.
Well, I completely forgot to put my phone on silent. Sorry about that. He denied the truth of the Shadow's creation. With this, as the Shadow's face twists with an evil rapture.
Finally, you finally said it. Now I can be myself.
Oh dear. She's Morbin now!
Yes, the power.
I'd hoped I could save before it got to this point. But that might have been impossible anyway. It's difficult enough to confront the truth, and in her case, it was accompanied by revealing the true form she'd been so desperate to hide. She is a machine, and she was forced to perform painful acts that most likely no one could ever comprehend. The truth she was avoiding wasn't just part of her personality, but her actual body itself. I can't imagine the shock she's experiencing. But now that the reality she built for herself has crumbled, I want to help her. She may be a machine, but she has a heart. Labras has denied her past in which she was forced to fight and kill her friends, and her pain comes out in a long, echoing scream. What has to be done to a heart to call such terrible screams? There's only one thing that we can do. Well, we save her, of course. Yeah, that's for the extra thing with Yukiko. Ow! And for the record, if I remember correctly, I am still playing on normal. The power that Labrys' shadow now had gathered dissipates. It's over. All that's left is for Labrys to accept the darkness within her. But will she truly be able to do it? I turn around, but Labrys hasn't moved a muscle. We'll just pretend we don't know the answer to that, shall we? She had been avoiding having to watch the battle just now as well. What more can I do for her? The moment I call to her...
There they are! Yukon! Labrys! Sister, Narukami-san.
Chie and Aiga-san, and not just them. Yukiko and Yusuke are right behind them. And there are even more surprises.
Man, as soon as that invisible wall thing disappeared, I knew you did it!
We ran into Aiga-san along the way. She told us about Labrys and everything.
A little late, wasn't it? If someone told me what was going on from the start, I would...
You fell into the TV when you were half asleep! Crying out loud, you really know how to blow it when it counts!
Hey, what you going to tell them for?
I don't think this is the time for that.
Naoto? Yeah, we were surprised too. The job she was on turned out to be related to all this.
Kanji, who had been missing before we met inside the TV, and the real Teddy are here. There's even Naoto, who wasn't supposed to have been able to come to Inaba. It looks like the whole investigation team's been brought back together, and I didn't know it. Everyone says that Rise had told them pretty much what had been going on. His smiles are encouraging. I turn to speak to Labrys, who has been silent all this time.
Friends, we've all faced our weaknesses at one time or another.
Labrys finally responds.
Your weaknesses. You've all faced your shadows?
Everyone gathers around Labrys. Labrys tries to shrink away nervously, but Rise is behind her and won't let her retreat.
Sheesh, enough doom and gloom. If you don't hurry and accept her, she'll get all lonely. But I'm a weapon who didn't want to fight. And I dragged you all into this.
You're still hung up on that? It's over already, dummy.
Your jumping skills were amazing, but you're surprisingly sensitive, aren't you?
What does that have to do with her jumping skills? You're really cute, Labby-chan. You're so meta-luring.
Oh my god, Teddy.
Are you all listening to me? Labrys needs to face her shadow now, and...
This was going well at first, but now everyone's talking about different things, and we're completely off topic. Of course, that's not unusual with all of us. I have to laugh, and I apologize to Labrys that things didn't quite wrap up as I'd hoped. Labrys looks back at me with a blank expression. Can't she tell that we're not treating her any different? I turn towards Aiga-san, and she meets my gaze. She nods silently, then stands before Labrys. She seemed slightly nervous.
Nice to meet you, Labrys. Or rather, sister. I am Aegis, the 7th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. I am your successor.
Labrys jerks up and looks at Aiga-san. At the same instant, Yukiko gasps in surprise.
What? Excuse me, but I mean, are you also...
Yes, I too am a robot.
Were all the metal parts not a big enough clue?
It just occurred to you now?
Weren't you with her all this time, Yukiko? How did you not notice something like that? That is so like you. Once again, everyone looks towards Agason and Labris, the non-human sisters. Now that I see them standing together, there's something like a family resemblance. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time. If Labris is Agason's older sister, then I should be calling her Labrison? Well, I guess that doesn't matter.
The mission to retrieve you has brought me here. My colleagues are waiting for you. Are they gonna lock me up again? Well, considering all I did, of course they will.
Labris's expression darkens. I hadn't thought about it, but if Labris and Agason are treated as weapons, it's no surprise that there would be measures to keep them in check. But Labris shouldn't have to just accept it. If she truly is going to be locked up, I make up my mind to wait for Agason, for what Agason has to say next, but she smiles.
We'll discuss that later. Right now, there is an important task you must carry out. I gotta do this, huh?
Agason quietly points at the shadow that remained still while we've been talking. Labris looks at the shadow and then turns away and casts her gaze down at the ground again. I see. So I'm going to have to act.
It's okay. We're all right here with you.
I indicate my friend that are gathered around her. I've been forced to fight against my friends, just as Labris had in the past. But I have been able to endure the suffering that Labris had not. Of course, I hadn't been forced to fight to the death. But the biggest difference between Labris and me is that I wasn't alone. I'm sorry. I'm still going to probably get emotional for a while, guys. What if I had been all alone in this place? What if everyone else had forgotten about me and I'd had to fight all alone? Just the thought of that hurt. Labris had been forced to endure that pain. Hey Abso, welcome to the stream. It's been a while, but I'm finally getting back to this game. Where was I? She must have thought that there was no escaping it. But she'll be all right now. How's your day been, by the way? If it isn't like just too early for you, if it isn't like just after you woke up or something. We're not going to reject her. It doesn't matter if she's a machine. She's not alone anymore. Labris slowly looks around at all the faces, searching each one for confirmation. Finally, she turns back to me and nods. Labris then walks over to face her shadow. When she walks, she no longer seems to be bound by her fear. She then looks down at herself. She looks at the mechanical body she had convinced herself of she didn't have.
That's right. You're me.
Labris and her shadow turn to face one another and stare into each other's eyes. She can't avoid looking at the shadow
The
now.
way I was on the inside, screaming to be understood. The pain wanting to be known. You're all I couldn't say. You were always inside me. You're me. A machine with a heart. I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone.
I really love this scene a lot.
No. You are me, after all.
Happy birthday.
This is my persona.
Labras accepted the existence of her shadow and attained a persona. It's finally over. We take Labras with us and follow Teddy and Rise to the school's rooftop, where they say it's connected to the TV in Juness. The invisible walls are all gone. Perhaps there were walls like that wherever she came from, and she drew on that in making this place. But I have a feeling she's truly being freed from those walls now. As in confirmation, Labras is slowly warming up to us, smiling more and responding to us when we start talking to her. We reach the rooftop. We're surprised to see that the TV world has regained the studio-like appearance that we were accustomed to. However, there are two unfamiliar faces waiting for us.
Mitsuru-san, Akihiko-san.
These people have overwhelmingly intense presences, but thankfully they don't seem to be enemies. The moment we see them, we tense up, but after Aiga-san calls out in recognition, we learn that they are her friends.
I'm Mitsuru Kirijo, Labras's handler.
A bodysuit like something out of a movie, a fur coat on top, with a fur coat on top. It's a look that doesn't really work, but her name immediately reminds me of something. The Kirijo group. And if she has the same name, she must be quite an influential person in it. The research organization that developed Labras and Aiga-san must belong to her.
Akihiko Sanada. Sorry for all this trouble.
The man with the red cape appears to be quite comfortable with Mitsuru-san and Aiga-san. He must have been helping them fight shadows for some time. Is there some reason why people on Shadow Extermination Squad have to dress like crazy people? This is likely your future, guys. This is likely your future.
So, what's going to happen to Labras now?
Before we fully introduced each other, Yosuke asked Mitsuru-san what I've been wondering myself. I know all of us must have been worried about this, but I was waiting for a good moment to bring it up. Even Yosuke seems to have realized how out of line his question is, and he shrinks sheepishly, as if regretting having asked the question. I know why Yosuke is worried, but why does he keep stepping on landmines like this? Well, if he's already stepped on it, we may as well wait for the smoke to clear and see if there's any answer.
Well, you deserve to know. We were thinking of sealing her away again.
They were thinking? And did something change their minds? Mitsuru-san turns to Labras. There's a smile on her face, but is she smiling for the reason we hope she is?
A report from Aiga says that thanks to you, Labras has acquired a persona. She's hardly a rogue test unit anymore. Besides, she has a heart. We would never treat anyone with a heart so poorly.
Yeah, we did it!
Thank goodness! I'm so happy for you, Labras!
My friends roar in excitement. Labras looks around and at us all, bewildered before saying anything. Even though we've only known her for a very short while, we've already come to accept her as our friend. Mitsuru-san's words come as great relief, as if I'd been worried that she might lock me up too.
Good job, guys. Let me say thanks.
He speaks without any hint of concern, but I see a touch of gratitude in Akihiko-san's eyes. He certainly looks, how can I put it, bold, but he must be an honest and uptight person. An upright person. I changed the context of that. I guess I couldn't call him stoic. There's a distinct briskness to him. There's no way that people so considerate would neglect the goodness of Labras's heart. It seems that Labras can't believe everything she's hearing. She turns to Akihiko, from Akihiko-san back to Mitsuru-san.
Not gonna lock me up again? No fooling?
We only seal away objects. If I did that to you, knowing you have a heart, I'd be no different from the Kirijo Corporation of old. Labras, you've been blessed with good friends.
Yeah, Mitsuru very much knows how much of a dick her grandfather is. Or was. Labras looked stunned for a moment, and then scrunches up her face as if about to cry. But then her face tightens up with a brilliant smile. Who would think that anyone capable of making those expressions was just a machine? I find myself almost moved to tears as well. We're just about to leap forward to congratulate Labras once again when... Oh dear, here we go again. Labras's head droops suddenly, like a puppet, whose strings have been severed. I'm about to rush over to see what the matter is when I see Akihiko-san take a fighting stance. I realize that it is no ordinary matter. Suddenly, a bizarre voice emanates from Labras.
It's not over yet.
That isn't Labras's voice. This abnormality seems to have made Mitsuru-san come to a realization.
What? It's the same communication system as ours.
Everyone, step away from Labras!
Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san rapidly shout instructions to us. We all spread out and watch Labras from a distance.
I cannot gain access. She is being hacked. It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
You mean outside the TV?
Outside the TV? That's right. I curse at myself for having forgotten what was supposed to have been the cause of all this. All this going on because Labras had somehow been placed into a TV. So there has been someone outside who threw her in here. The same person who stole Labras from the Kirijo group and then threw her into a TV is now taking direct control over her.
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
Dick. The nonchalant voice fills with malice. With a dazed look in her eyes, Labras looks up and dashes forward. She's fast. I barely dodge her axe in time. Surprisingly, I look up at Labras once more. Surprised, I look up at Labras once more. Her eyes are blank, as if she wasn't looking at anything. Those eyes were once filled with the strength of responsibility and the awareness of duty. Her face had once been filled with sorrow over her painful past. And she had smiled when she had found real friendship for the first time in her life. Whoever is controlling her has stolen all these things from Labras. Then... Yeah, we're not going to let her do it.
I won't let you hurt her.
Here we go again. One last fight.
My, she was quite easily defeated. Evidently, I didn't push her far enough.
Asshole.
She is a test unit, so this is as far as my little game goes.
Lapras has stopped moving. The only sound is a smug voice that continues to come from her. Those heartless words cause anger to boil up within me.
Who are you? Why are you toying with people's emotions like this? Lapras isn't a tool. If you want to fight, then come out and fight!
You're quite passionate. You, Narukami, was it?
This person, whoever he is, knows about me? And maybe it isn't a coincidence that we were dragged into this. This revelation shakes all of us.
Labras's shadow was only the mastermind of the tournament. I see now. You're the true culprit behind the whole thing.
Indeed. It was I who stole Labras away. Since I don't have a persona and can't enter a TV, I needed a puppet that could run amok for me. Labras's persona was only partially awakened, so I had a feeling her shadow would appear if she underwent a little suffering. You got the better of me this time. You deserve to know at least that much.
Nothing is enough. I've never been so irritated knowing that I can't do anything to whoever is controlling Labras.
So your scheme hasn't ended.
Well then, everyone, until we meet again.
The communication cut off abruptly without answering me. Labras immediately slumps to her knees. Before I can even begin to move, Aiga-san is already at Labras' side to support her. Aiga-san looks at me and nods, confirming that Labras is alright. Thank goodness. Labras is okay. I feel a bit of my strength drained from me. Still, the sword in my hand feels awfully heavy. Mitsuru-san speaks up from behind me, even as I consider
It
this.
seems whoever our adversary is, they're connected to us. I advise you not to get involved in this matter any further. From here on, you should leave this to us.
What? Wait a second. We went through this whole big thing and that's it?
She's right. There's no way in hell we're backing out of this now.
I understand how you feel, but this is too dangerous for you. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. Trust in us and let us work.
My friends bristle at Mitsuru-san's proposal. After all, we've come this far, and we already knew about the dangers. There's so much I want to say, but I can't understand why they want us to stay away.
Guys, I think we can trust Mitsuru-san. We should let them handle this.
But I can understand. My friends respond with a look of shock. Of course, they don't agree. But now's not the time to complicate matters. One of them should understand why I'm backing down so easily. I stared directly into Yusuke's eyes for a moment, hoping that he understands my intentions here. Come on, Yosuke, back me up.
Yeah. We're all tired, so let's just get the heck out of here.
Smooth, Yosuke. Oh well. I sneak a glance towards Mitsuru-san and the others to see if they picked up on this, but none of them appear to have noticed. Maybe they're just pretending not to notice. Well, in any case, it means we've been let go for now. I sigh with relief before urging everyone into the TV exit. When I return to the real world, the exhaustion from the events of the day catch up to me. I'm more tired than I expected. Then again, I had been fighting all this time. It can't be helped. Everyone else seems tired too, so we decide to go our separate ways for the day. Still, everyone is safe, Labras included. It'll be a while before the case is completely closed, but I think we can assume that the disturbance has been settled for now. I worry about the mastermind that had taken control of Labras, but I need to rest for now. When I get back home, Nanako greets me with a bright smile. The moment I see that, all the exhaustion of the day hits me, along with a profound sense of relief. I can't help I can't help myself from staggering. Nanako and my uncle were worried a bit by that, but that doesn't bother me at all. There was something I wanted to do in my room, but I hadn't even been there for an hour when my awareness melts into the darkness. I wake up to my phone ringing. According to the call, we're supposed to meet up at the outskirts of the shopping district, at the crossroads in front of the gas station. When I arrived, the other members of the investigation team had already showed up. Surprisingly, the one that called us was Labris. She wanted us to come so that she could say her farewells to us.
Woo, is that it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
Oh man, it's so long. What the heck kind of car is it? It doesn't even turn corners.
A long limousine drives up to us with surprising speed. It's long and I can't believe it's so long that I can't believe it was able to handle the country roads of Inaba. I don't think I'll ever see another automobile like this in my life. And if I remember in proper player matches, when Mitsuru comes up, you actually see that limousine. The limo slows to a stop and smoothly parks beside us. Mitsuru-san climbs out from the back seat and nods to us. Labris and Akihiko-san are in the back seat as well.
Good, Labris.
Sorry I made you come here all of a sudden, but there was something I really wanted to tell you guys.
When I look at her, Labris smiles and looks embarrassed. She takes a moment to look around at all of us, then continues.
I decided to work with Mitsuru-san. I want to catch the darn culprit. Not only that, but, you know how you guys had my back during this whole mess? Yeah. This time, I want to get yours.
You go and do that.
I can't help but smile at the conviction and trust in her words. Labris has faced her weakness and accepted it. She's about to begin walking toward the goal she found on her own. That's why I don't see any reason to stop her. It would be sad to see her go, but this decision is one Labris made for herself.
Definitely ain't the last you've seen of me. When I come back, we'll hang out some, okay?
I'll be waiting, and so will everyone else.
Come back soon. To lose such a rare beauty again, it's so tragic.
Again, can we please get General Teddy back? Just saying General Teddy is less cringe.
That's what you're sad about?
Everyone has their own response to Labris's news. But one thing's for sure, we'll be waiting for her. There's no lie behind that sentiment. After all, she's our friend. Mitsuru-san tells Labris it's time, and they get back into the limo. I don't know why "friend" is in quotations there, is in air quotes, because that's usually when it's ironic. Labris looks at me right in the eye. She seems as if she might cry at any second, but is resolved not to. She smiles.
You guys are the best. I'm glad it was you who were there when I woke up. Well, see ya.
Man and machine. I wonder if there's truly a difference between them anymore. The thought comes to me as we wave our final goodbyes to Labris. The limousine demonstrates its impressive agility as it speeds off down the narrow rural roads.
Aw, she's really gone.
Seriously. Wish she could have stayed a little longer.
I would have liked that myself, but they have their own tasks that must be done.
Yosuke and I share our glance after Naoto says that. Their own tasks, huh? It's not just theirs. We smile at each other. Ever since I answered Mitsuru-san's proposal inside the TV, I've made my mind up. Yosuke already knows how I think. Then again, that conversation wasn't very long ago. It had only been this morning. I don't know how she found my number, but after Labrys's phone call earlier, I decided to cook breakfast for Nanako and my uncle. Nanako hears me making a noise in the kitchen and stands next to me, excited.
I'll help too.
I panic for a moment when Nanako reaches for the other cutting board, the knife. I considered stopping her, then decide not to.
Use the knife. Be careful, okay? Make sure you don't cut yourself.
I'm always careful when I cook with you.
Nanako picks up the cucumber from the counter and begins slicing it diagonally. Her skills are still clumsy and unsteady, but all I do is caution her about how to hold the knife. And when I watch her, I watch her work without intervening. She doesn't have to become a master all at once. All it takes is constant progress, little by little. The same can be said for me. Sorry, or anybody. Even though things may hurt us, we may want to give up, and we may want to give up. We just have to keep trying, and as many times as it takes until we see our goals through. Instead of nothing changing, I wish to see everything changing, along with myself.
Oops, sorry, Nanako. Could you put the knife down for a second?
Okay.
I ensure that Nanako has to put down the knife before I answer my phone. I didn't have to look at the screen to know who was calling.
Hello? Is this Yosuke?
Like you don't know. Listen, about yesterday.
I thought this was coming.
Yosuke rushes on, and as if irritated that we have to have this conversation over the phone, but I managed to calm him down. It's funny that he's getting so excited over this, but I'm glad he managed to wait the whole night before calling me.
Do you remember the Moonlight Bridge? The one from our class trip?
Yeah, sure. I used to be a city boy too, remember? Hey, were you checking out the Kitty Joe group online?
Perceptive as always. Now that's my partner. Oh yeah, the Moonlight Bridge was like part of the whole thing with Persona 3. I swear to God, once that releases on PC, I am definitely playing it. Like, that's my personal favorite in the Persona series. Despite the transphobic jokes. The transphobic joke. I'll probably be playing the female protagonist anyway, but yeah. Perceptive as always, now that's my partner. When I went back to my room last night, I'd spent as much time as I could searching for information about the Kirijo group online before I fell asleep. Of course, there wasn't anything about an organization involving Labrys or Aiga-san, but the little I did find was better than nothing. Yosuke asked me if I planned to go back on my word to Mitsuru-san and the others. I did say that we ought to trust them to solve this mystery, but I never said we should let them do it alone. After all, the person behind everything may be after us. On top of that, they were using others in horrific ways.
Down from this, right?
Now you're talking, partner.
Yosuke and I continue to talk. We know that we're getting closer and closer to a battle with an enemy we haven't even seen yet. There's only one thought in my mind. No matter what kinds of hardship await us on our path, we will continue to fight on. As long as we have friends that will walk the path alongside us. Nanako watches me talk on my cell phone and smiles.
Excited, big bro.
I smile back at her innocent face before making a confident declaration.
The investigation team is back in action.
And that's the end of Yu's story. I am very sorry that I didn't get the extra scene. I just really didn't feel like going back to it at the end of the day.